live stream on a day when the Chief Minister of Delhi has been sitting for over 24 hours at the Lieutenant Governor's residence. He is saying there's no question of him leaving till his demands are met. Key to what Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal is wanting is that the strike, the so-called protest really by IAS officers in the city comes to an end. Remember, they've been agitating for the last 4 months, ever since that fracas between the Chief Secretary, who is of course the boss of all civil servants here in the state, and Kejriwal and his team. He alleged that he was manhandled when he went to the Chief Minister's residence for a meeting. And ever since there's been a standoff between the bureaucracy in Delhi, the IAS officers and the Chief Minister. Officially, they say there's no strike, but we're told that they're not attending important meetings, that they're not taking calls, and saying that all they want are written communications. We saw the Chief Minister today issue a statement, a video message. We're going to play that for you in just a bit. So we saw the Chief Minister there issue a statement, like I said, a video message, which he did while sitting right there on those red sofas there. The BJP and the Congress, which is the opposition here, have slammed that, calling it a mockery of democracy. They're saying this is just a drama. But the Aam Aadmi Party is firm. They say that there's the Prime Minister's office who is interfering in all of this and not letting them do their job.
What's going on that you're hearing? What's the latest at the LG's house? Because obviously you're getting more information about what's really going on there than we are.
I think it's very clear that the Chief Minister, the Deputy Chief Minister and the two ministers are planning to stay put there till the LG puts an end to the strike of the IAS officers and approves the doorstep delivery of ration.
How long will that go on for?
I think that is a question that the Honorable LG and the PMO needs to answer. We have been making attempts for the past 3-4 months now. It's been 112 days.
The critics say, ma'am, sorry to interrupt, but the critics say that you're resorting to the politics that the Aam Aadmi Party knows the best, protest politics.
Today is the 112th day that IAS officers have been on strike. We have tried for the last 112 days to negotiate, discuss with IAS officers repeatedly. We have gone to the LG so that he can ensure that officers come back to work. But when nothing else has worked, this is the only option that we have left. Right. Because this is not about us. This is about the development of the people of Delhi. Okay.
Many are saying you pulled a fast one on the LG. There was no information that you would go ahead and protest if he actually didn't agree to your demands, that was expected, that he would not agree to the demands. So you pulled a fast one on him.
See, we have been trying for the past 4 months that he resolve this issue in a straightforward manner. We have repeatedly met him. The ministers have met him repeatedly. We have written letters to him. The Chief Minister has met him. Every time he refuses to act. Every time he says, I will act in a few months, I'm going to act in a few weeks, I'm going to try and make sure they go back to work. But there has been not a single order from the LG.
What does it say about a CM protesting at an LG's house?
Right, so that's of course the Aam Aadmi Party's version. We are waiting to hear from Saurabh Bharadwaj of the Aam Aadmi Party in just a bit. But joining me now, Rajesh Sharma of the BJP. Quick comment on that, Mr. Sharma. You've heard what Aam Aadmi Party is saying, that this is just not on. They're saying that the Prime Minister's office is giving instructions to the LG to stall their work. They're saying the LG is just not doing anything to end this kind of protest by the bureaucracy. And as you can imagine, it is getting in the way. I mean, the entire state is suffering.
Entire state is suffering because Arvind Kejriwal is not working. He don't want to work. He haven't worked. Whatever promises he has made to the Delhiites, he haven't fulfilled. He promised for schools. He promised for hospitals. He promised for colleges, then commandos, Wi-Fi, everything. He has done nothing. He has done nothing.
Whatever he's trying to do, are there attempts to scuttle every effort that he makes?
How can that be? It is all rubbish. He knew that LG is a way by which if he moves some file to LG, then only he will clear it. Without moving, by going for dharna and all other ways, he cannot do. Have you heard any chief minister in this country going for dharna in this way? Second thing, have you heard any officers being beaten at the residence of chief minister? You haven't. And the third thing, have you heard any chief minister doing this way drama? It is never acceptable.
You're saying this is drama, but we just need to get Saurabh Bharadwaj of the Aam Aadmi Party up. I'm just trying to see what's happening with that, and we're just going to see if we can fix that, and then of course we can get his views on this as well. This is a guest that we have this evening. This is Manoj, who's called us from Chandigarh. But before that, Saurabh Bhardwaj is with us. Saurabh, quickly, this is not just any protest, Saurabh. This is the Chief Minister, the Deputy Chief Minister, key ministers who are sitting on protest in this fashion at the Lieutenant Governor's home. What do you think of the optics? What is the message that's going out? Is this the right way to protest?
Yes. I think the people of Delhi will appreciate the fact that for last 4 months, 112 days, the IAS officers are on strike. They are not letting the government do any kind of work. They are not executing any policy of the elected government. They are not processing any files of the elected government. They have brought the governance in Delhi to a standstill. The Chief Minister has been requesting the LG for last 4 months. We have written 7 letters. The ministers have met LG at least a dozen times, but the LG is not taking any action. Let me tell you, as per the CCS conduct rules, the IAS conduct rules, any kind of strike, even for 1 day, it's a violation of CCS conduct rules, rule number 7. They could have been terminated on day 1. But the LG, who is a disciplinary authority in this case, who has to take action against the erring officers, is basically promoting this strike. He is basically, helping the IAS officers continue with the strike, and LG and IAS officers are just puppets. They have nothing to do with the government. It is at the behest of the Prime Minister's office that they have been asked to continue the strike, so that the government of Delhi fails to
bring the
deliver
Prime
anything,
Minister's
and they are
office?
taking
So I'm
revenge
sorry to
against the
interrupt
people
you
of
there,
Delhi.
but how do you bring the Prime Minister's office in this? I mean, is there any proof that you're providing on this, or is it all just a shot in the dark?
Yes, because as per the Constitution of India and as per the IAS conduct rules, IAS could have taken the LG could have taken action on day 1. But whenever we have met him, he has, he is about to show us his inability, that he is not, empowered enough to take action. That shows, somebody at the top of the LG, which is definitely PMO, which is, pulling all the strings.
Okay, who's pulling all the strings is what they're asking, Mr. Sharma. That they believe that there's a greater power behind the LG.
There cannot be a greater power. There are a lot of government, lot of state governments are run by BJP and other governments also, other state leaders also. But none of the state leaders have ever told that the IAS lobby or the IAS who are working are not working. It is totally rubbish, the first thing. Second thing, they are now blaming Prime Minister. How can they say that a chief minister who have blamed previously Nitin Gadkari, after that he had blamed Arun Jaitley, and he told and he had accepted in court that I have told lie and I have told lie to get votes. This type of a liar, he should not have any right to even continue. He should immediately resign.
Let's not call names and let's not go that road. But you made that point that how do we know these are of course all allegations flying fast and thick. Saurabh, I'll let you respond to that quickly. We've got a couple of callers on this. Yeah, Saurabh, go ahead.
He is taking examples of different states. Let me quote him few examples of different states in last 3 years of the central government of Mr. Modi. You have an example of Arunachal Pradesh, where the governor's office was used and the government was dismissed. You have Uttarakhand, where the governor's office was used and the government was dismissed. Later on, Supreme Court termed the governor's act as illegal. You have a recent example of Karnataka, where the governor, at the behest of Prime Minister's office, invited Mr. Yedurappa to form a government, even though he did not have numbers, and later it also turned out to be a fake thing. So, and you have an example of Puducherry.
He is trying to deviate and telling all lies.
Who is also harassing.
But at the end
even
of the day,
Kiran Bedi as an LG is harassing the state government of Congress in Puducherry, and the Puducherry's chief minister had said it on record many times. Even today he said it on record that Kiran Bedi is interfering in the works of the elected government.
He is telling lie. He accepted.
I need to interrupt this. Okay, Mr. Sharma, Saurabh, just give me a moment. I know that both of you feel strongly about this. I think at the end of the day, the biggest loser is Delhi and all its people in all of this. I'm sure both of you, as different ends of the political spectrum, will agree with me on this. But we've got callers, and interestingly, the first one is Manoj from Chandigarh. Manoj, go ahead.
Hello, ma'am. My question is to the BJP spokesperson here. Sir, I would like to ask you, in 2014, Mr. Modi had a promise to make Delhi a full state in his manifesto. Now, I would like to know your views on that. Secondly, the tussle that we are seeing, I would like to ask Mr. Saurabh Bhardwaj also that when Mr. Kejriwal became the CM, he knew that this is the constitutional framework within which he has to work. So the promises that he has made, it is his responsibility to fulfill all of them.
Okay.
Now the third thing to both of them is, we entered Delhi as from the GT road and we see mountains of garbage.
Absolutely.
I don't know if there is any capital in the world which is having such a foul smell and such a bad scene to look at once you enter the national capital.
I take your point totally. And for those of us who live here, we just want to underscore that the fact that Delhi is a union territory and Mr. Kejriwal's government doesn't have control over land, police or law and order, and that is another big reason for all problems. Well, I'm going to get both Saurabh and Mr. Sharma in, but before that, there's another caller this evening. This is Subhash from Faridabad. Subhash, go ahead.
My question to the AAP spokesperson is, why Chief Secretary, who is the highest officer of the Delhi, was beaten at the residence of the CM. If that has happened, why CM has not tendered the apology to the bureaucracy? That matter would have been settled since then. But they are adamant, they are unnecessarily creating issues, making issues and blaming the Prime Minister for their own faults.